Have you ever felt that sensation of completely losing control in a relationship? Suddenly, she disappears, responds with short sentences, seems distant, and you don't know how to react. Ghosting has become the nightmare of modern relationships, and many women use this tactic as a silent testing strategy. Today, we are going to unravel the secrets behind this behavior and reveal exactly how you can regain emotional control without appearing desperate or submissive. Imagine being able to understand every strategic move she makes, anticipating reactions, and completely reversing the game in your favor. Are you ready to discover techniques that can completely transform your romantic dynamic? The landscape of modern relationships has completely changed. Social media has transformed romantic dynamics into a true emotional battlefield, where women develop sophisticated strategies to test male interest. Understanding these behavior patterns is essential. Women often use distancing as a tool to assess their real value in a relationship. When she starts responding with short messages, takes time to reply, or just disappears, she is likely conducting a test of interest. The impact of social media has amplified this dynamic. Today, a woman can monitor your behavior much more easily, observing your reactions and interpreting every move. She wants to see how you handle absence, whether you'll panic or maintain emotional control. But here's the secret. This apparent disinterest hides an incredible opportunity. When she pulls away, she is actually waiting to see how you will react. Your behavior at this moment will completely define the future of the interaction. The key is not to appear desperate, but also not to be completely apathetic. You need to demonstrate that you are interested, but not dependent. It's a delicate balance that requires emotional intelligence and strategy. Social media has created an environment where mystery has become a powerful weapon. Women know that scarcity increases desire. The less available you seem, the more interesting you become. It's like a psychological game where those who keep their cool usually come out on top. Your goal should be to keep perceived value high. This means responding intelligently, without appearing anxious or completely disconnected. Use short, interesting responses that leave room for curiosity. The real art lies in transforming this moment of distancing into an opportunity for reconnection. Every interaction should be calculated, yet natural. Don't force situations, but also don't disappear completely. First, it's crucial to understand that this behavior rarely means total disinterest. Most of the time, it represents a sophisticated test to evaluate your value and commitment. Psychologically, women develop emotional protection mechanisms. When they sense they might be getting too involved, they intentionally create a barrier of distance. They want to see how you will react under pressure without showing weakness. Perceived value is determinant in these interactions. When you maintain your essence, not appearing desperate nor completely indifferent, you increase your attractiveness. It's like a subtle game where every move counts. There are different levels of distancing. Some are quick tests to check your interest, while others may represent a real need for space. The key lies in correctly interpreting the signals. A common trigger is the fear of vulnerability. Many women create this distancing as a defense mechanism, testing your ability to remain calm and self-controlled. They want to see if you can maintain your individuality even when the connection seems weakened. Social media has intensified this dynamic. With multiple contact options, the interest test has become more sophisticated. A short response, a longer time between messages, everything can be a calculated strategy to assess your reaction. Emotional intelligence becomes your greatest ally. It's not about manipulation, but about understanding female emotional codes. Demonstrating confidence, maintaining a certain mystery, and not appearing too available are powerful strategies. It's important to highlight, every woman is unique. What works for one may not work for another. The sensitivity to perceive subtleties and adapt your approach will make all the difference. Your main goal should be to maintain the balance between genuine interest and emotional independence. Show that you're interested, but not dependent. Your demeanor will completely determine the development of the connection. Mastering this art means transforming moments of distancing into opportunities for deeper and more authentic reconnection. On the journey of emotional control, maintaining the proper posture without seeming cold requires a smart and subtle strategy. The expert reveals that the key lies in balancing genuine interest with preserving your personal mystery. Assertive communication becomes your main tool in this delicate moment. When she starts to distance herself, your response needs to be calculated but natural. It's not about appearing indifferent, but showing that you have your own life and do not depend solely on her for your happiness. An effective technique is to use strategic responses. Instead of long, desperate texts, opt for short, interesting messages that pique curiosity. The goal is to leave an opening for her to want to know more about you without seeming like you're begging for attention. The tone of your communication should convey confidence. Use messages that demonstrate security, but without arrogance. A practical example would be to respond with a light and relaxed message that shows you are fine, regardless of the situation. Nonverbal communication also counts a lot. If you're in personal contact, maintain a relaxed posture, a subtle smile, and calm body language. She needs to perceive that you are comfortable with yourself, no matter what happens. Mystery has always worked as a powerful ally in attraction. When you don't reveal all your thoughts and feelings immediately, you spark her interest. It's like an interesting film that reveals details gradually, making the viewer want to keep watching. It's important to emphasize that this strategy doesn't mean being false or manipulative. Authenticity remains fundamental. The secret is to show your best version without appearing desperate or completely disconnected. Your internal energy needs to convey tranquility and security. Women are naturally attracted to men who demonstrate emotional stability. When you maintain control, even in moments of apparent distancing, you significantly increase your perceived value. Practice makes perfect. Over time, you will develop a natural intuition for handling these situations, transforming potentially stressful moments into opportunities for deeper and more authentic connection. With the right timing, you can completely transform the dynamics of a relationship that seems to be cooling down. The strategy of silence works as a powerful tool for reconnection, but it needs to be applied with intelligence and subtlety. The first important step is to understand that silence doesn't mean completely ignoring the person. It's a calculated response that demonstrates your emotional independence. When she starts to distance herself, your reaction can't be one of desperation or pursuit. Relationship experts recommend a strategic cooling-off period. If she is taking a long time to respond or sending signals of distancing, don't fall into the trap of bombarding her with messages. This behavior only diminishes your value and shows total emotional dependence. An effective method is gradual re-engagement. After a brief period of silence, send a light and casual message that sparks curiosity. The goal is to show that you are fine, interesting, and completely comfortable, regardless of the situation. Reconnection techniques vary depending on the context. If you were talking constantly and she started responding with short sentences, your move should be subtle. An intriguing message, a funny comment, or something that piques her interest could be the perfect trigger to reignite the connection. WhatsApp and social media have become emotional battlegrounds. Every like, every view, every response time can mean something. Therefore, your strategy needs to be calculated but natural. Don't seem like you're playing a game. Demonstrate that you understand the emotional rules. An important tip is to vary your methods of contact. Don't get stuck only on text messages. A quick call, an interesting audio message, or even a well-timed, humorous meme can break the barrier of distancing. The secret lies in maintaining your positive and attractive energy. Women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate confidence and independence. When you show that your happiness doesn't solely depend on her, you significantly increase your perceived value. Fatal errors in relationships can completely destroy any chance of reconnection. When a woman starts to distance herself, There are behaviors that will definitely push her away for good. The first big mistake is to bombard her with incessant messages. This attitude screams desperation and low self-esteem. The more you send messages without a response, the more you diminish your own value. Women interpret this behavior as a total lack of self-respect. Another disastrous behavior is creating drama or scenes of jealousy. Trying to control or demonstrating insecurity through indirect comments or virtual stalking will only reveal your emotional fragility. Women are naturally attracted to confident men who maintain their composure. Digital stalking is also a sure route to failure. Liking all her old photos, watching all her stories, commenting on all her posts, this screams desperation. Your strategy should be exactly the opposite. Remain discreet and interesting. Demonstrating total availability is another fatal mistake. Responding instantly to every message, being online all the time, making all your plans revolve around her. These are clear signs that you don't have your own life. Women value men with purpose and independence. Crying, complaining, or playing the victim are also dangerous emotional traps. Constant complaints about how you are being treated only confirm your lack of value. The true strength lies in maintaining emotional balance, even in difficult moments. Excessive revelations of feelings can also be counterproductive. Long texts. Explaining every detail of your feelings usually scare her off. Mystery continues to be your best strategy. Leave space for curiosity and interpretation. Emotional blackmail is another completely destructive behavior. Trying to make her feel guilty through passive-aggressive messages only demonstrates immaturity. Women respect men who handle emotions in a balanced and intelligent way. The golden rule is simple: stay interesting, mysterious, and emotionally stable. Your value cannot depend on her attention. The more you show that you are fine with yourself, the more attractive you will become. Transform moments of distancing into opportunities for personal growth. Use this time to focus on your goals, cultivate hobbies, and develop your best version. Genuine attraction arises when you show that your happiness doesn't solely depend on a relationship. When it comes to customizing your approach in relationships, the expert highlights that every woman is unique, and your strategy needs to be adaptable. The secret lies in understanding her individual profile and adjusting your communication wisely. For new relationships, the approach should be lighter and more casual. Here, the focus is on creating a fun and interesting connection. Avoid seeming too serious or intense. Use messages that spark curiosity with a touch of humor and lightness. In the case of more established relationships, the strategy changes. Now you need to demonstrate more emotional depth. The messages should reveal layers of your personality, showing that there is much more beyond the surface. Social media offers interesting tools to adapt your communication. Observe her interests, the types of content she likes, the hobbies she practices. Use this information to create genuine and personalized connection points. The social context also directly influences your strategy. In professional settings, maintain a more discreet and elegant communication. In more relaxed social circles, you can be freer and more spontaneous. Her age also determines different approaches. Younger women generally value fun and dynamic connections. Older women appreciate deeper and more meaningful conversations. Your tone of communication needs to be adaptable. With some, humor works perfectly. Others prefer a more serious and straightforward approach. The key is in the sensitivity to perceive and respect these nuances. It's important to emphasize that customizing doesn't mean being false. Authenticity remains fundamental. You are just adjusting your best version to create a more genuine and interesting connection. Emotional intelligence becomes your main tool in this process. Observe, interpret, and adapt. Each interaction is an opportunity for learning and deeper connection. The secret lies in establishing a favorable dynamic that keeps her interest, constantly renewed without seeming like you are making a deliberate effort. The foundation of a lasting connection starts with your own personal evolution. Women are naturally attracted to men who demonstrate continuous growth. This means investing in yourself, developing skills, achieving goals, and maintaining an interesting and dynamic life. Preventing future distancing requires a proactive approach. Don't wait for problems to arise, anticipate them. Always keep a channel of communication open, but without seeming suffocating. Show genuine interest in her life, but without creating excessive expectations. The key is in balancing closeness and independence. Create moments of significant connection, but also respect individual spaces. Women value partners who understand the importance of personal development and do not try to control every aspect of their lives. Building a solid foundation of attraction goes far beyond momentary gestures. It's about creating an interesting narrative about yourself. Cultivate fascinating hobbies, maintain an active social circle, and demonstrate that your life is rich and stimulating, regardless of the status of the relationship. Strategic communication is also fundamental. Alternate between moments of closeness and mystery. Don't be predictable. Use the art of surprise to keep her interest constantly piqued. Small, unexpected gestures can reignite the flame of attraction. Develop your emotional intelligence. Learn to read subtle signs, interpret the nuances of communication. Each moment of distancing can be an opportunity for reconnection, not a reason for despair. Remember that relationships are dynamic and require constant adaptation. What worked in the beginning may need adjustments over time. Always be willing to grow, learn, and reinvent your approach. True mastery lies in transforming challenges into opportunities for deeper connection. When you master this art, the relationship becomes a space for mutual growth where both feel valued, respected, and constantly challenged to be their best selves. Each strategy presented does not work as a magic recipe, but as a tool for self-knowledge and personal evolution. Mastering these techniques requires time, patience, and a great interest in deeply understanding the female emotional dynamic. I encourage you to experiment, make mistakes, adjust, and constantly reinvent your approach. Relationships are living organisms that need continuous adaptation. Share your experiences, exchange experiences with other men seeking growth. For those who want to delve deeper, I suggest complementary content on emotional intelligence, assertive communication, and personal development. Learning never ends, especially when it comes to human connection.